You just pick a number.
Okay, cool.
And then whatever the corresponding suggestion is. And then we go like 10 minutes.
Great.
And then we'll just like chit chat afterwards real quick.
Okay.
And that's it. Have you been doing, now we did the Island Life thing with
Oh,
Alex
yes. Yeah. With Alex. That was very fun. That's very fun to do. Yeah, I've done a couple things here and there, and like I have a couple podcasts that I'm doing this week. Other than that, I've done a couple shows. Didn't you and I do also another improvised show with like maybe Amy, or did we do an improv online famous?
Yeah, it was like an improv famous thing. We tried that, and
yeah.
I think I'm gonna try and like hit a couple of those, that we have time.
Yeah.
I might do a couple of those. I've been doing these with just people from all over the world, which has been crazy fun.
That's amazing. This is amazing what you're doing.
Oh,
I love
thanks. And ABD sent me a letter that made me cry, a little card.
I got one today too. I
know. Oh my God. Where I go,
She's into crafts. She's into crafts.
I asked her, I go, are you getting married? Is that why you need my address? And she's like, no. And then she sent it. I opened up. It's just this wonderful homemade card. I was like, that's unbelievable.
Yeah. No, she's the best. Yeah.
Okay. So.
Cool.
I'm a fanboy of ABD, so I could talk about her all day.
Oh God, yes. Oh, she's my number one out of all of my number ones.
Yeah.
She's the best.
We've got 18 comments, so 18 suggestions. Pick a number between 1 and 18.
11.
Yes, of course it's 11. This comes from Noah, who's in Barcelona, and it's our suggestion: shrimp cocktail.
Oh
no! Yes.
Okay.
This is really good.
Would you like another one, sir?
I want to say I don't want to have another one, but I do. And
most people that have had the number that you've had so far always would like another one. I know I haven't really introduced myself, but you're probably the person I've talked to most this week. My name is Nancy, and I am your server. And I will get you another shrimp cocktail.
Hey, Nancy, before you go, do you I got a couple questions. One is, do you think I'm overdoing it with the shrimp cocktail? And a follow-up question too is, do you think it's ever too late in life to turn a new page and start something new?
Ooh, 4 parts to my answer.
Great.
To question 1.
Okay.
Sure. I think you go overboard on shrimp cocktails. Right now you're going on number 6.
Yep.
Is that overboard? That's my second question. That is up to, I guess, the consumer as well as the wait staff. To me, you can never have enough because I get tips based on the, what I'm saying.
The total bill.
The total bill. Now, shrimp cocktail, can you get drunk on shrimp? Well, some people can, some people do. Second question, start a new page. If we could, I don't think I'd be still working at Sherry Shrimp and Emporium if we could. So no, I don't think, to be blunt, you can turn a new leaf. I'll be right back.
Nancy, okay.
Yes.
Oh, no, go. I think you were going to get another shrimp cocktail.
Yes, I was. I'll be right back.
Yum, 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 yum.
Well, he asked for another. I can't cut him off. All right, thank you.
Okay. Well, I don't want you to cut him off. Don't cut him off.
Well, I'm not going to. Will you stop? I'm talking. I'm out in the dining room now, okay? Larry, I'll talk to you about this later.
We got to talk about it sometime, Nance. We got to talk about this sometime.
Yes, Larry, right now might not be the appropriate time.
When will be? I
when
don't
I'm
see.
Back. When
you
I'm
haven't
back
come home. You haven't come home.
Larry, we'll talk about this when I'm back in the kitchen. Hello, here's your
thank you.
cocktail. I'm sorry about that if you heard any of that business. I'm married to Larry.
I heard all of it.
Not married. We're loosely married. Married would be like how are you? How's everything? Can I?
Loose is a a loose term?
We're loosely married.
Oh, wow. Well, I'm doing okay. Actually a year ago today, I got divorced from my wife.
Oh.
Yeah. And that's why I've just been contemplating, like, can you turn over a new leaf? Like, is it ever too late to start again? I'm at the same job that I've been at I've never had this is the job I'm at now is the job I've had my whole life. I've never.
What's your name? Can I call you Mark? I'll call you Mark.
My name is Mark. Is it with a K or a C or a Q?
Well, in my head it was a K, but I'll pronounce it however you'd like. Is it Mark or Mark?
No, it's Mark with a K. It's Mark with a K.
Well, I think in your position, it sounds like that leaf has turned itself over for you. For me and Larry, neither of us are willing to turn that leaf over. It's a lot of work. But I think for you, it sounds like you're at a place where maybe there's what we like to call in the restaurant business, a fork in the road.
Interesting.
You're at the same job. Sounds like you're burned out, Mark. You're divorced. It sounds like you have a lot of opportunity.
I mean, yeah, I am. Day after day, I do the same thing. And the only excitement I've had in my life, to be honest with you, is that I've gotten a divorce. And that was more pain than excitement.
A divorce.
Yeah. I woke up one day and I'll be honest, I said, I don't think I'm living my best version of who I could be. And so Nancy, I sat down and we had a conversation. It was very emotional and vulnerable and raw. And, we started the process, and that's the only excitement I've ever had in my life. And I keep thinking right now, why don't I do something more?
Huh.
Yeah.
Your divorce kind of spit out the truth, made you feel something.
Yeah, it did. It made me feel alive for the first time because I felt pain, but I felt alive for the first time in my life, Nancy. I felt like it was time, and I'm not looking back.
Mark, will you excuse me 1 sec? Will you hang tight? I'm going to get you another shrimp cocktail. Yeah. Will you excuse me for 1 second?
Great.
Hey, Larry.
What?
Larry, listen.
What?
I think we need to divorce.
Why?
Because we're loosely married at this point.
Sounds good.
Oh, thanks, Larry. Okay, here's your other. This one's on the house. This one's on me. So sounds like I'm going through a divorce myself.
Yeah, that was conveniently easy for you.
Well, like I said, we're loosely married, and I guess I feel alive, more alive than I've ever felt before. You were on the money, Mark.
Do you want to feel real alive, Nancy?
Well, of course I do.
Do you want to feel really alive? And I'm not just saying that. I mean, really think about it. Do you really want to feel alive?
No one's ever asked me that.
I'm asking you right now, Nancy. Yeah.
Well, I guess I do want to feel alive, yes.
You were going that direction when you were adjusting your kerchief. Adjust that. And in fact, adjust it and take it off and leave it here. Leave this diner right now. You leave the diner. You get with me. Yeah. We get inside my Chevy Malibu and we just drive, Nancy. You and I, we just drive. We drive up. We don't even have a direction. We just leave this town.
We leave this town of Auburn, Nebraska.
Yes. And me. Just the two of us. We go. We don't even know where we're going to go, but we know we just get in the car and we drive. We drive till we can't drive anymore. Then we drive some more. Then we get some gas, and then we keep driving. And we drive until we look at each other and we say, "This is the place we're going to stop."
Yes, I'm in. Yes, Mark, I'm in. I'm in for those driving until we can't drive anymore, but then we continue driving. I'm into stopping at those little gas and tushy diners and filling up with unleaded, and then us getting leaded in our blood.
Yes.
Maybe a little burger to go or to dine in, because it doesn't matter, because we make the decisions.
We're a team. Yes, we're a team. We turn to each other and we go, "What do you want to do today?" And the other responds, "I don't care. I just want to be. I just want to be."
Mark, I'm overwhelmed. Yes, I've never done anything like this before. I've only been to Lincoln. I've only been to Kansas City. I've never been out of the tri-state area.
Nancy, there is a whole world out there that's just waiting for you, waiting for me, waiting for us to grab onto and to suck the life right out of it till there's no life left.
Oh, yes, I want to suck the life out of life.
Suck the life out of life with me, Nancy.
Oh, I'm in.
You'll feel something. I finally feel alive. I feel alive.
I feel energetic. I want to give me that shroom cocktail.
Take it. Here, you take the shrimp. You eat that shrimp cocktail. And then we go and we get out of here.
Loaded on shrimp.
I mean, you feel drunk, don't you? You feel drunk, but it's with excitement. It's with life. You're feeling drunk with life right now. You're not going to let this set. Right.
It's good, right, Mark? Sherry shrimps are good.
It's good, Nancy.
This is good.
This is good.
Feels right.
I feel alive. I feel like, one day my life passed me by, and I'm not going to let that happen to me again.
I'm going to turn a new page with you.
Today's the day, Nancy.
Today is the day, Mark.
Larry. Hey, Larry. She's coming with me.
Good riddance to the both of you.
Great. And you know what? You're paying the check, Larry.
Yeah, Larry, you're paying the check.
Follow me, Nancy, to freedom.
Are you in parking lot G?
Yes, I'm in parking lot. Oh, by the way, do you validate?
Yes, we validate.
Here. All right. I'll meet you at the car. Again, I have the map.
Okay. Here's your ticket.
Scene. Oh.
Okay. Oh, what a joy.
You're the best. You're so fun. Oh, you just sit there and you have so much fun, and it's just contagious.
Oh, man. Well, I'm only as good as my partner, so.
Do you know, we lived in a 3-flat.
Oh, yeah.
And
Teoy.
Yep, and I used to be intimidated by you.
You were?
Well, I didn't know you back then. Yeah, and so we would just see each other in passing. Yeah. And it's something that it had nothing to do with you. It was just
that we took the opportunity to get to know each other back then too. You know, what's funny is being out in LA, I've definitely become much more close to people that I knew in Chicago, but maybe not as well as I know them now, like how we know each other now compared. And like, there's a few other people too that's like, man, I've known you forever, but like, I haven't known you.
Right.
Until like we both live in this city and start. So, wow. Well, I'm so glad that we got a second chance at getting to know each other, Jay.
Me too. Like, it's so strange. You like you said, back in Chicago, knowing some people or traveling in the same circles with people. Yeah. And then it wasn't until out here that it's like, oh, you really become friends, and maybe it's that connection to Chicago, or maybe it's just the fact of like, oh, you hang out with person X, Y, and Z, and I hang out with these people, and then all of a sudden you just go, well, it just makes the timing, I guess, was right now, and it's so fun.
Exactly. Yeah, that place on Magnolia, man. Oh. And I lived up there with Karen Gracci, with Griggs.
Griggs.
Yeah, and then downstairs on the first, it was like Aaron McAvoy and
I took her place.
Oh, okay.
I lived with ABD, and I shared a closet that you could look through and see if her door was open and mine was open. You could look. We like shared a closet. It was the craziest setup. Old Man Bill, or I think his name was
Bill Teoy, Old Man Magnolia. Him and his little fishing hat.
Oh yes, and it was like 3 floors of improvisers.
Oh yeah,
and for years it was real close to Wrigley, and you could just walk to IO, and that was, but it was so fun, and that was such a I think I lived there in 2002 maybe. I think it was back then.
Yeah, that sounds right. That sounds kind of when I would have been there. Absolutely.
When you're at a point now when you improvise, do you even care anymore as far as like freaking out about the shows, or do you just get up there and play? I find like I don't care anymore.
No, I mean, I guess it might depend. No, normally I'm like, it's just excited to do it. Even if I don't know people, I'm excited to see what they have to do, and I'll just match energy or do whatever. But yeah, there are some times, like if it's a new space or if I'm invited as a guest and I don't know anyone on the other team, I probably default on the side of I want to make sure I'm respecting their things. So I don't even know if it would be nerves, but no, I mean, I've been doing this now for 22 years. So it's kind of like, great, let's do it. What's our suggestion?
Yes.
And I'll usually just kind of go for it, because also at this point it's like, yeah, let's do something weird that who knows what we're going to do. Like, I am totally game for something new, something weird, something that may not work. I'm totally down with that. Do you still get nervous ever?
I mean, I think it's the same thing. I think when you're talking about that whole idea of like for me, it's like, oh, if I step into somebody's theater, I want to be like, cool, what's just give me a vibe of how you play. Like, I don't want to play a certain way. Like if you do like a crazy Uncle Joe show at the Groundlings, it's like, cool, I know it's going to be fast and your edits are a certain way. Like, I want to know that stuff so I don't disrupt the show.
Exactly.
But yeah, I'm with you. It's like, let's do like weirder stuff. And like, I have no time to waste. I'm like, let's get to as much fun as we can. And if if I know at least one other person in the cast, I feel great. If I don't know anybody, I'm still like, wow, what a chance to play with people I've never met before.
Well, that's so fun playing Improv Famous, the team that you do at West Side, and that I've been so lucky enough to join in a bunch of those shows, that I haven't played with a lot of the other players. I mean, I know a lot of them, but then there's like a handful that I'm like, oh, this is exciting. I've never played with you.
Yes.
Or I rarely get the opportunity to play with these people. And so it's really, really fun and refreshing for me. And that's such a fun show. I always come off of a high after doing that show. But yeah, I mean, I miss it. It's funny. Like, I mean, I've gone through those periods of life where I'm like, I might be a little burned out. From doing a show, I might just need a day. But now I'm at this place. It's like, oh man, I can't, I can't wait to get back and hit that stage.
Yeah, it's funny. You're like, I mean, I think you're dead on of like, wow, I miss it. I want to get back up there. And any thoughts of like taking a breather, because like life happens and you get overbooked, and you're like, oh, I'm doing all this stuff, and then once it's taken away, then it's like, oh, I miss it. Are you teaching or anything online? Like,
I'm teaching an online acting for the camera class for the UCLA extension right now.
Wow.
So that's been interesting. We have 4 more classes for that, but it's about a 2.5-month program. So that started in March 30th. So which happened like 2 weeks after lockdown happened. So last year I did it. It was in person, and so they're like, "Do you still want to do this?" And I'm like, "Sure, if they do." Like, obviously we lose that intimacy of like, me being able to really get in there and position on how they should be looking at the camera. But it's just morphed a little bit, but it's still a joy. I mean, they're, and it's a challenge for me as well. Like, it's interesting. I have to change my gig up as well with teaching things online. It's more has a self-tape feel to it now, on like, here's what you need to do for your self-tape, make sure the lighting, stuff like that. But but I'm not teaching anything else. Like, I'm not teaching any improv or anything. But I mean, I have other little projects going on, so I'm trying to still juggle. But what about you? Are you teaching a bunch online?
Yeah, and I feel like the classes should be 2 hours max. I feel like it shouldn't be any longer than that. I feel like an hour to 90 minutes is a really nice spot, because people are online so much as it is, that if you then go, hey, come take this 3.5-hour class, they're like, ugh.
I agree, because my class is 3 hours long, and it's way too long. Because normally when you're in person, obviously, you spend a half hour warming up and getting, each other's energy and all that stuff. And that's just gone. Like, I don't do that online, because I'm like, why?
Yeah.
Like, to me, it doesn't connect. So I try to think of other ways on how they could connect with each other, whether it's like pairing them up and, you know, having them FaceTime each other and working on a script or whatever it might be. But I don't feel, you know, it's also not an ensemble based thing that I'm teaching, but still you have an ensemble.
Yeah.
So, you know, but yeah, no, it's fascinating. It's kind of crazy.
It's like, here, learn to do your job you've been doing, learn to do it a completely different way right now.
Yeah.
Learn to do it different now. And the job that requires so much up to this point in person,
I know.
now you're like, okay, how do you do that on this medium? It's kind of like a new form too.
Yeah. And, you know, and my students, they're great. Like they're doing a great job with what they have. And, you know, and I hope they're getting out of it what they want. And I, you know, but yeah, it's a transition for sure.
Where can people, if they want to find you, what's the easiest way? Follow you on Facebook or Instagram or?
Yeah. I mean, I'm on, I think all of them. So Instagram, Celeste and Clogs.
Yes.
People make fun of me for wearing clogs.
Yes.
For Twitter, it's C Pechous, which is Pechous. So C Pechous. And Facebook, it's just my name, you know. Yeah. And then, you know, and so Upload, you know, you can catch the new series of Upload. And if you haven't seen Work in Progress yet on Showtime,
oh my God,
encourage people to check that out.
You're like, we were talking beforehand, I'm watching this show Upload it's on Prime, Amazon Prime.
Yeah.
And then you pop up in that show and I'm completely in love with Work in Progress, and Abby, and you are a huge part of that show. And congratulations, because it's so wonderful when like friends are rewarded for doing these great jobs, and like you and Abby and Tim and all of the people involved with that. It's just such a great nod to Chicago Improv and to what can be done. So like you are so funny, and everything you do, you're really, even commercials are super funny. But Work in Progress, I think, is really showcasing who you are. So
I'm really proud of that show. And like you said, I think it is a salute to Chicago and Chicago's style of work, you know, and it continues to be. So ABD wrote for season 2.
Yes.
And, you know, there's, it's just, I'm very proud to be a part of that show. And hopefully it will continue to show and prosper the talents of Chicago and our community.
Oh, you are the best, Celeste. It's great playing with you.
Jay, thanks for having me, man.
We will talk soon.
Okay.
All right. Bye, Celeste.
Bye, Jay.